Welcome back to Just Call Me Boats. Today's video is part 2 of my 2-part series on how to change out your bathtub and enclosure in your RV. If you haven't seen part 1 of the series, make sure to check in the description below for the link to that video. Now on to the show. Okay, now I've got the tub installed. It's screwed in place here, just like the original was. Move this back out of my way for now. So, to prevent any kind of future leaks, I'm going to run a bead of caulk around this top edge here, just to have an extra added measure of precaution so I don't have any leaks into my basement again. The problem was it was leaking against this back wall down below the tub, and it was coming out inside the basement, just between the floor and the wall structure. Right there in that corner was where the water was weeping out and going into the basement. So I suspect that it was just the border wall that was cracked and allowing that water to leak in there. But I figured if I'm going to replace one, I might as well go ahead and replace the tub, because I don't know if the tub was actually cracked, you know, like a micro fracture or whatever that was allowing the water to leak. So I got this tub and enclosure at a pretty good deal. The company did not sponsor me, but I will put a link in the description below where you can contact them and get your replacement parts, and you get them really reasonably priced. This tub and the enclosure was $70. I don't know what the prices will be in the future. I can't predict that. But it is a RV surplus store, and it's located in White Pigeon, Michigan. And like I said, I will have a description a link in the description so that you can go there and take a look. There's contact information and everything right there. And look them up. So they may have the part you're looking for at a really super good price. Anyway, let me get this caulked in, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, now I got the back edge, the edges all caulked in, and I started doing a little cleanup on the trim pieces and the tracks and stuff. And that's the double-sided tape that come off the back side of the track pieces that the curtain rides in. And I just took my pocket knife and it scraped right off. I'm going to be using some crud cutter, which is, where did I put that? Pardon the mess. Everything's under construction here right now. Oh, dang it. Oh, where did I put that? Anyway, it's an adhesive remover, and I don't know where I put it. Okay, it's time to put the tub wall in, and struggling with it a little bit, but it is going in. Okay, we're going to find out if we bought the right stuff and if it fits. Gotta do a little trimming, but down here in the bottom, it's not really fitting real well. But I just have to put a little notch in there, and that should work. That's pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and get that trimmed in and let you see how it looks. Okay, I've worked on these and got all of the glue and residue off both of these. This, of course, is the track that goes on this end where the shower door, it has the little locking pin that goes right in this area here, and that's where it goes here. This one here, let me set this aside. This one here is the bottom track that the shower door rides in. It's got the drain holes on it, and you want to make sure that those go to the inside out for obvious reasons. I'm getting ready to peel the double back tape on the shower wall and stick it in place, and I'm hoping I can get it in there and get it tight enough that I don't have to put those pins back in there to secure it down. It's not a big deal if I have to do that. I can, and then you know, I know that it won't bulge or anything like that from the wall. So hold on just a moment, and I'll get the camera set up and you can see how that process goes. Okay, keep in mind that I am not an expert on this, and it will probably fight me all the way because I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of good at doing mechanical things. So I got to try to figure out how I'm going to get the backing off that tape while I have this wall kind of in place. Let's see if I can do it like this. All one piece. Alright, let's see how this goes. Well, so far so good. Sometimes I think I should have taken the shower door down and get it out of my way so it was easier to work in here, but honestly, taking that down would have been more of a pain in the neck than just leaving it up, I think. Mainly because it's a lot of work to get it down, to get it out of there. Okay, come on. Come on, there you go. Woo! starting to look like I'm gonna have to put those pins in, because this is not going in as well as it should. Okay, I've got all of the double back tape peeled. Got everything sealed down all the way around. I ended up having to put an extra strip on this back wall because it kept bulging out, and I did not want to puncture this at all. If I could avoid it, to put those little pins in. I may have to do that at a later date. Depending on how this survives traveling down the road and etc. And it's it doesn't fit quite as well as the original, but it fits good enough that I can feel confident that it's not going to leak water into the basement again. Now all I have left to do is the shower door tracks and install the faucet and shower assembly, and I'll get to you with that in just a moment. Let me go ahead and reset my camera, and we'll go with the faucet install next. I already test fit everything in here as far as the tracks go, and everything is lined right up perfectly. I did have to trim the bottom piece a little bit because of the difference in the thickness of the walls. But other than that, everything fits in here perfectly. And well, let's go on to the faucet and shower head install. Okay, we're back to this point. This is where it all began. Now that I've got my shower wall in place, I just need to go in where the existing holes were and drill those out. It takes a 1-inch hole saw, and you just drill them out, and then you're ready to install your faucet. So let's get that set up and ready to go. Okay. That water line there likes to fall into the basement, and I have to go fishing for it. All right, perfect. Now, when I started this little adventure, I had a real cheap faucet, and with this install, I'm upgrading to this. It's a little fancier, a little shinier, and hopefully it'll bring up the appearance of the bathroom instead of it just being a plain Jane, you know, off-white plastic. Now remember, you want to get these tight, but not like overly tight, because it is just plastic after all. Oh, make sure the gasket's still in there and it didn't fall out. Yeah, looks good. That looks pretty good. So here's the new faucet in place, nice and sturdy, and it's going to make, you know, getting the water turned on real easy. And today we're going to be installing this brand new shower head. I've heard that these are really nice. They have 3 settings, an on with normal pressure, higher pressure, and a trickle, so you can just basically turn the water flow off for times like when you're washing your hair, etc. And you know, it saves your water both coming out of your water tank and going into your gray tank. This hose, yeah, it's a little cold out today. It's still early spring here in Michigan, and tonight's overnight temperature is only supposed to be in the mid-40s, I think. So this hose is not going to be very cooperative right now, simply because it's just plastic. It's like a nylon, you know, something tube, you know, and it's cold. I mean, it's not freezing in here by any measure, but it's new, it's stiff. So I'm going to have to play with it a little bit to get it to kind of go into shape. It looks like we're going to have a lot of extra hose here. It's a lot more than I had anticipated. Now, the old faucet, the where the hose connected for the shower head was on the bottom side. This one's on the top, so it makes it a little bit yeah, makes it a little difficult. So just make sure your washers, you lose your washers inside there, because they will just pop out. And come on. There we go. And make sure you get all the stickers off of there. Don't want it looking horrible. Make sure it's good and tight. And I'm probably going to want to mount it to where it's right about in here somewhere. And that'll give me a couple minutes, and whoop, you didn't see that. Sorry. Yeah, as I was saying, probably going to mount it in this neighborhood somewhere. And when I get that done, I'll be right back with that result. Okay, this is the shower head installed. And like I said, I'm hoping that the hose itself, the hose itself relaxes after a while, and I expect that it will in time with use, hot water running through it, it just sitting in the camper when the camper's unused, and just the heat that'll build up in here. I'm hoping that hose will relax and settle down. In the meantime, we just have to deal with it all wrinkly like that. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next step now. Okay, next step, I showed you earlier, I had all the double back tape and etc. cleaned off of these pieces. I didn't remove this up here because it's part of a spacer that goes up on the top, and I just felt like if I took that off, I was going to have to come up with something new. I'm just going to try to reattach that in some fashion. I went over to the local Walmart and bought me some double back tape, and it's pretty simple to use. Just peel it back, get it started about where you want it, and then just roll it out. And that's about it right there, I think. Yep. So I'm not one to waste stuff, so alright, let's cut that off. I've got a couple different packages of this stuff. I thought ahead about that. I was like, well, how many am I going to need? And if I buy too much, then that's fine. I still, I can use whatever I don't use on this project, I can use for another project. There's certain things that's just nice to have around. And you never know when you're going to need something like this double back tape. You know, it's very versatile. Alright. I got a wrinkle. Doggone it. Try not to wrinkle this when you're putting it down, because then it'll just bunch up on you. And but try to keep it center as possible when you're doing it down this piece, so that you get at the bottom, it's right in the middle of where you want it, and it's not going to stray off to one side or the other. Just cut it off when you're at the bottom of it. Don't mind me, tool safety is not my thing. I'm kidding. But I've been working with knives most of my life. As the name of my channel implies, I am a retired U.S. Navy bosun's mate. And in case you don't know what that is, I was a deckhand for 20 plus years, and pretty much carried a knife on me every day, everywhere I went. And so when it comes to knives, I'm pretty knowledgeable on those, on how to use them safely. It's pretty safe to say I have not stabbed anyone or myself yet. There we go. Ooh, I'm not ready to put that down yet. Son of a gun. I forgot something. This bottom one I've been playing around with stuff and trying to make sure everything's going to fit right. And I forgot that this bottom one, which goes in first, hasn't been stuck down yet. So, got to do that next. Stinking wrinkle. Okay, I'm at the end of that one. Wow. Stuff goes fast. And you can't find it on really big rolls, or at least I couldn't locally. I could have probably ordered it in a 100-foot roll, but honestly, what would I do with a 100-foot roll of the stuff? Okay, let me go get some more and we'll get this stuck down, and I'll get back to you with the finished product. Okay, here's the absolute finished product. Everything has been caulked in all the way around. The new shower and faucet is installed. Everything around the door is caulked in. Everything around the edges where water could escape out into the rest of the room has been caulked, with the exception of this bottom edge down here. I'm not going to caulk that as of yet. I want to see if it's going to leak, and if it does, then I'll definitely put a bead of caulk around that. But there it is. And recording door slides nicely. Latches in like it's supposed to. And there we are. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this two-part series on how to change out the bathtub and shower enclosure in your RV. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you know when a new video is arrived. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to write them down. I'll be happy to answer as quickly as possible. See you next time.